Hello, Hornets. Welcome back to another episode of SHS Today.
Welcome to this fabulous episode of SHS Today.
On this week's episode of SHS Today,
if you've been through Saline High School, you know the words
SHS Today.
SHS Today.
The school news program that's carried on for years. But the class is more than that. Actually, I think I'll let Mr. Bush take it from here.
The video production class is all about creating videos. We do all sorts of different productions, such as news packages, music videos, commercials, the list goes on. We also run a show called SHS Today here in the studio. Video production is a really fun class because we get to play with toys. I mean, if you look around the studio, we've got some of the best technology in the school.
Yes, this toy-focused course has spent years teaching many about video, but it's also helped shape the lives of many current and future videographers, including myself, and I couldn't be more grateful. This is my tribute to SHS Today. Starting in the most obvious place, the Saline Video YouTube channel has episodes stretching across an entire decade, all the way back to 2010. But somewhere hidden deep within the studio is a secret that the video elites don't want you to know about. An entire archive of old technology stretching back to ancient times. VHS tapes from 2007. Blowing the dust off an old VCR player, I discovered an interesting rabbit hole.
Hi, welcome to the Saline High School announcements today, Thursday, April 13th. I'm Joe Graham.
SHS Today began as the SHS Morning Announcements, administrated by Mr. Stump. A few years into Mr. Bush's arrival, however, it began to grow into the program we know today. This is Libby Ryerson, class of 2009, SHS Today alumni, and Final Cut veteran. Today, Libby is a professional video editor. The class looked a little different back in her day.
Back when I was in the class, I don't remember the specific cameras we were using, but they were mini DV tapes. So definitely weren't on any sort of cards yet.
But still stuck to the core of how it is now.
I think it was along the same lines, right? It was kind of goings on at the school. I remember we would go through the hallways and interview other students for specific themed segments and things like that. So it seems to be very similar and in the same vein to what you guys are doing now.
But the most remarkable part of her story is how video news shaped her entire life.
So I knew I wanted to be an editor ever since taking Mr. Bush's class, right? It was a video production class, but I knew I liked being in the editing suite and editing. So then I went to college for that specifically. And I've been editing ever since. The most valuable thing I got out of the class was probably just being exposed to this as a career option that I never would have considered before. And so obviously it had this profound impact on my life. And it will for the rest of my life, as I've chosen this as a career. If I hadn't taken, Mr. Bush's video production class in high school, I never would have gone into this field as a career, and my life would be, completely different.
And Libby isn't alone.
So right now, I am at Washtenaw Community College, and I'm taking part in their video program there. In the class, in video news production, I made a lot of friends that I am still in contact now with, and I'm really ahead of the curve in my college classes because of what I learned in this class. And so it's just been pretty great.
The biggest thing that seems to stick out in students' memories is the instructor that they had.
Like I said, it was kind of just clear that he was very passionate about, the class and teaching it. And it was also kind of evolving. I felt like we were almost learning together, teacher and students, and kind of figuring out how the class was going to go. And it was nice to be in a class with a teacher that really, really cared about, what they were teaching and teaching, their students to kind of be as passionate about it themselves. I remember a very specific circumstance of we had this competition to edit a video for a local botanical garden. I was really lucky. I had a good team with me and we won, and ours got to be, aired on broadcast TV, which was very exciting. The only critique that Mr. Bush had was that we used too many fonts in the video. But ever since he said that, and if a client asked me to use more than one font in the video, it kind of brings that back a little bit of that specific experience and that specific critique that's always stuck with me.
I haven't really noticed it now because it's always just kind of been ingrained in my mind, but the acronym FUSE is kind of like always on my mind whenever I'm doing anything on set. I'm like, oh, is it focused? Is it exposed properly? What's the white balance? What's the sound? And it's just like become something that I do, but Mr. Bush was the first person to ever teach me the acronym of FUSE.
There's a lot to be said about this class that has changed so many lives. But these students had something they wanted to say to their teacher.
Hey, Mr. Bush, I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you did for me as a student and everything that you're still doing for your students to this day. You were a huge influence on me and what I chose to do as a career. And you were not only a teacher, but my first real mentor. And to this day, when people ask why and how I got into video production, I tell them that it's all credited to my teacher, Mr. Bush.
Hey, Mr. Bush, you've honestly been the best teacher I've ever had. And you gave me, instilled a passion in me through hard work, and you gave me all the skills that I could have, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Hey, Mr. Bush, I hope you're doing well. I would like to say thank you for everything that you've taught me. College has been going well, and I've created quite the portfolio, and I wouldn't be able to do it without your teaching. For every little achievement I made, you pushed me to do better, but also helped me get there. And for that, I would just want to say thank you, Mr. Bush.
Thank you. That's really all I have to say is thank you.
Thank you for everything, like I said, that you did for me and that you're doing for your students to this day. It's very important.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. This class and your teaching over the last 4 years have inspired me immensely. You've changed my life, and I'm sure you'll change the lives of more students to come. I don't know what my future will be, but I know that I'll be prepared for it, at least in some part, because of this class. And that's really amazing.
Come on! SHS.
More specifically, we have testing info. Starting next week on April 14th, juniors take the M step. On when? I don't know.
Dawson, I don't think you'll win any competitions with that.
Hey. Bye. Bye.